Jason Tatum rarely misses regular season games for the Boston Celtics, and injuries are uncommon for him. However, the fear of many fans became a reality recently in a game against the Sacramento Kings, when he attempted a contested three-point shot. After making the basket, Domantas Sabonis invaded his landing space, causing Tatum to step on his foot and twist his ankle, falling quickly to the ground. Let's review the latest information on Tatum's injury and how the Boston Celtics could receive some encouraging reports after what was a very concerning moment. It's essential to remember that Tatum is an athlete who refuses to sit out games, which is admirable, but when he does get hurt, the situation becomes alarming. Let's go back to the game against the Sacramento Kings. Tatum was visibly in pain on the floor. This was particularly concerning, as we had never seen him in such a vulnerable position, showing so much distress after twisting his ankle. He quickly grabbed his left ankle, turned, and covered his face with a towel while the medical team tried to assist him. Other players gathered around him, and the support from Jaylen Brown and Domantas Sabonis was noticeable. Sabonis apologized for the injury, stressing that it was not intentional, though the play was deemed a flagrant foul. Jaylen Brown approached as Sabonis tried to ensure that Tatum was okay, pushing him away. No one messes with Jaylen Brown's brother. Seeing Tatum in so much pain, my initial reaction was one of despair, imagining that he could be out for 3 or 4 weeks, or even 6 to 8 weeks, as it seemed something truly serious had happened to his ankle, which immediately brought back memories of the 2023 Eastern Conference Finals when many fans began losing hope. When Tatum was seen in evident agony, it felt like a nightmare was unfolding. The possibility that this could mean a long absence, 3 to 4 weeks, maybe even 6 to 8 weeks, raised concerns about his ankle's condition. Instantly, memories of the 2023 Eastern Conference Finals emerged when the team's hopes began to fade, as we rarely see Tatum's name on the injury report. He tends to get injured infrequently and is known for his determination. He avoids sitting out even when he's in pain. With his high tolerance for discomfort, when we see him writhing on the floor and covering his face, it's clear he's in intense pain. However, a sign of relief came when he returned to the court without assistance, showing no signs of limping as he headed to the free throw line to finish the play after the foul. He made that three-pointer and then completed another free throw due to the foul. While shooting, both of his heels were extended, and he managed to make one of 2 free throws before leaving the court without limping, heading to the locker room. That was the last image we had of him during the game against the Sacramento Kings. After the game, the coach provided an update on Tatum, stating that he seemed fine. Although he didn't witness the incident, he noted that the decision made was the right one and was relieved that Tatum was able to shoot the free throws. When asked how he was feeling, Tatum assured me he was fine and ready to do whatever was necessary to recover. It appeared that Tatum had avoided a serious injury with only 10 games left in the regular season. Given how his ankle looked when it collided with Sabonis' foot, the event was alarming. His ankle almost touched the ground, bending severely. It reminded me of moments in high school when I wore high heels and didn't know how to walk properly. Tatum is truly persistent. He plays through injuries, and when he says he will do everything to return, I genuinely believe him. A news source even shared something that increased my optimism about the situation, mentioning that Tatum left the arena that night. Jason Tatum is a tenacious player who persists in his activities even when dealing with injuries. And when he declares he will do everything in his power to get back on the court, it reflects a strong conviction. A recent piece of information brought relief about the situation. Tatum left the arena without crutches or a boot, showing only a slight limp. After the game, he was eating, talking, and smiling with teammates, suggesting his spirits were high. Without a boot or crutches, just a slight limp indicates that Tatum is recovering well, as dealing with a minor limp is something manageable. If I saw someone leaving with a boot, I would definitely start to worry, but a slight limp is something that can be tolerated. Of course, he's probably feeling some discomfort, given the significant twist to his ankle, which must be painful. However, he will continue the recovery process, with the support of the team and his personal team to restore his health. Tatum also made a comment saying he feels fine just a bit sore, which might have caused some discomfort. When he fell, it was a moment of concern. He probably hadn't experienced anything like this in a while, maybe since that decisive game in the Eastern Conference Finals. It could have been frightening, bringing back memories of tough games against a strong opponent, or simply the unusual way he fell. Fortunately, it doesn't seem like anything serious. So, the question arises whether there is general relief that he escaped a more serious injury, and it would be interesting to hear opinions about it. This athlete is strong and resilient, and it's important to show support. Now, it's time to discuss what the team should plan for the future, especially after this injury incident, considering there are only 10 games left in the regular season. Should they consider resting the starters? How should they prepare for the playoffs? It's interesting to think about how to proceed with the situation of the mentioned athlete. And before delving into the details, it's pertinent to address an important aspect: how to strategize for the playoffs. It's crucial to take advantage of the opportunity to stand out, especially in this moment of intense competition. The weeks ahead will be crucial, and it's essential to reflect on how to keep the team in good condition, keeping in mind that significant games are approaching. On the West Coast, the competition hasn't been especially demanding as the teams involved occupy the bottom positions in the Western Conference standings. However, next Monday, a matchup against a top 5 opponent, the Memphis Grizzlies, is coming up. This could be the ideal time for Tatum's return. There's no urgency for his participation against the Phoenix Suns or the San Antonio Spurs, and perhaps, if his condition improves, he could rejoin the team in the final 5 games of the season. It's important to ensure that he keeps up his rhythm before the playoffs. The Grizzlies and the Knicks represent 2 essential games for Jason Tatum, and ideally, all the starters would be available for those games. It's worth mentioning that last night marked the 21st occasion that all 5 starters played together this season, and they could benefit from more time on the court as a cohesive group. Facing 2 top 5 teams like the Knicks and the Grizzlies will be a great challenge for Porzingis, Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. Fortunately, Baylor Cheyenne has been standing out recently, raising questions about his connection with Jason Tatum. Cheyenne brings valuable depth to the small forward position. While he's not a direct replacement for Tatum, should he need a break, I fully trust that Baylor Cheyenne can play around 25 minutes per game and have a positive impact on the court. His performance in the last 7 games of March has greatly increased my confidence in his ability to contribute to the Celtics on both ends of the game. If Brown or Tatum needs a rest, Cheyenne has averaged approximately 7.5 points per game, nearly 3 rebounds, with a shooting percentage of 50% and notable 47% from three-point range. Beyond the statistics, his contributions extend to defense, where he excels in steals, blocks, and rebounds. Baylor Cheyenne is a determined competitor, and his confidence is strengthened by the influence of players like Brown and Tatum, along with the guidance of the coaches. He knows he's part of the strongest team in the NBA and is ready to stand out in crucial moments. After last night's win, Baylor Cheyenne mentioned that he always feels confident in his ability to impact the game as needed. Baylor Cheyenne has shown that he is aware of being part of a top team in the NBA and is working hard to prove it after the recent win. He emphasized that he feels very confident in his ability to influence the game in any way, and his coaches and teammates have great trust in him, a well-deserved recognition, as he's earned that credibility. It's certainly extremely gratifying to be on the court during crucial moments. So if it becomes necessary to give Jason Tatum a break, just as Jaylen Brown was recently rested due to injury, Baylor Cheyenne could be an option to consider. He has proven to be a valuable athlete and a true fighter, working hard to help the Celtics achieve victories. While he doesn't replace Tatum, he is an excellent alternative coming off the bench and should be part of the rotation alongside Pritchard, Horford. Now, let's address the performance choice, which is quite simple. What you need to do is choose more or less, as in a performance choice app. The question is, should Cheyenne play more or fewer than 19.3 minutes per game? That's his average this month of March. If you believe he should play more minutes, type M for more. If you think he should play fewer minutes, type L for less. I'll keep you informed about Jason Tatum's injury situation in the coming weeks. So if you want to stay updated on the latest basketball news and rumors, this is the ideal place. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. As the NBA season unfolds, rumors are swirling about one of the league's most dynamic players potentially making a move to a new home. Zach LaVine, a two-time slam dunk contest champion and NBA All-Star, has been nothing short of spectacular for the Chicago Bulls. But could the Boston Celtics, currently seeking that final piece to secure another championship, be the team to make an unexpected move for the talented shooting guard? The possibility is sending shockwaves through the basketball world, leaving fans on the edge of their seats. In a recent matchup on November 29, 2024, LaVine lit up the scoreboard, scoring 29 points against the Celtics in a thrilling 138-129 contest. That game not only showcased his scoring ability, but also marked a historic moment as LaVine surpassed Kirk Hinrich to become Chicago Bulls' all-time leader in three-pointers made. His offensive prowess is undeniable, and it's hard to ignore the fact that Boston could certainly benefit from such an explosive talent on their roster. For the Celtics, the thought of adding LaVine raises intriguing questions. Despite boasting a solid lineup, including stars like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Boston has often fallen short when it comes to closing games in the postseason. LaVine's ability to create his own shot, stretch the floor, and provide leadership in high-pressure situations could be the spark they need. But the real question remains, is there a realistic way for these two sides to come together? While the Celtics have assets that could potentially attract LaVine, including draft picks and players to build around, the Bulls' interest in rebuilding might complicate matters. Could they be willing to part with their star for the right price? Or would they rather hold on to LaVine as the cornerstone of their franchise? These are questions that will need to be answered in the coming months, especially as the trade deadline approaches. As the buzz around this potential move continues to grow, one thing is clear. Zach LaVine's future remains one of the most talked-about topics in the NBA. Whether he lands in Boston or somewhere else, the next steps in his career are bound to be as exciting as his high-flying dunks. Fans are eagerly awaiting the final decision. Will the Celtics make a move to bring LaVine to Beantown, or will they look elsewhere for that elusive final piece? Only time will tell. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.